starting the 8 o'clock hour off with some breaking news. Spokane police are investigating a fatal shooting in north central Spokane. A person was found dead near the intersection of Wall and Augusta Avenue.
So that's where we'll find KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez this morning. Now, Nicole, you've been gathering information for us all morning long. What new information can you share?
Channing, Tim, so I have called the Spokane Police Department. We are still waiting on an update from them about their investigation at this point. But here on scene at Wall and Augusta, we still have some debris left on the floor. You can see a school bus even passing us here. That's because school is just right down the street here. We're just a block away from North Central High School right here. And just to kind of set the scene for you as to what we saw early this morning, there was a white car right next to this blue minivan here. You can still see the debris on the floor from the car crash that car was involved in, and then right to the left from my perspective of that white car was the body that police found early this morning. So police say at about 1:23 this morning is when they got a call in for gunshots and car crash noises. I was able to speak with a neighbor who says about that time he was woken up to what he heard was 9 gunshots as well as screeching of car tires. So now police are trying to figure out exactly what led up to this situation. They say that the person that they found in the street died of gunshot wounds, but of course there was also a car accident involved in this situation as well. So we are still waiting on police to give us an update about exactly what led up to this entire situation happening. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Nicole, thanks so much for that update. We'll check back in with you a little bit later in the show. You can always stay up to date on KREM.com.
Now, we are continuing to gather more information about the 2 drive-by shootings that happened over the weekend in Spokane. We now know that the 2 people that police reported were killed are still alive. And now the suspected gunman in one of those shootings faced a judge for the first time yesterday. KREM 2's Malia Kamal has been following these cases closely. So, Malia, what do city leaders have to say about these recent shootings?
Channing, Spokane police arrested Jonathan Love for the shooting outside of Lucky's over the weekend. Now, city leaders are taking a hard look at how to prevent these types of crimes. Now, Love is charged with 3 counts of drive-by shootings and 3 counts of first-degree assault. This wasn't the only shooting that happened over the weekend. An unrelated shooting happened in North Spokane about an hour earlier. These shootings have many in the Spokane community frustrated, including city leaders.
I don't have any great assurances for people other than we're just going to keep at it until we can level this and go back to the trend we were on for many decades of reducing crime and creating a safer city.
Begg says that the city has increased the number of officers and equipment, but the uptick in gun violence is not going away overnight. He suggests taking a proactive approach would be more effective in preventing violence in the first place. During a public safety committee meeting, Spokane's police chief says the number of guns on the street is beginning to stand out to SPD.
I don't know that we're sending the right message when felons have guns and they're getting out within a day or two, that you don't do this in Spokane. So I think we need to evaluate what is happening after our officers arrest them, because they are arresting them. We just need to make sure that once they're arrested, the message is sent to them. You can't be a felon and possess firearms.
A GoFundMe page has been set up for one of the victims of the Lucky's Bar shooting. Now, you can find this information on KREM.com. In the studio, Malia Kamal, KREM 2 News.
All right, tracking more breaking news here on Up with KREM. This is across the country. In New York City, the fire department there says multiple people were shot this morning at a subway station in Brooklyn. At least 5 people are injured from the shooting. The suspect, who ran away from the scene, was wearing a construction vest and a gas mask, according to multiple law enforcement agencies. Now, this is a developing story we're following very closely. We'll keep you updated here on Up with KREM and on KREM.com.
Now for a look at our weather this morning, as it is once again flurrying out there, or light snow. What seems like it's the 4th straight day since this weekend. It's just been cold, it's been cloudy, and we've seen the snow in some places more than others. It's been super light as of this morning. Still just very light flurries being reported out at the airport. Haven't really seen too many flakes downtown, and a couple people just walking along Riverfront Park in the background there. There are those light flurries, again, just kind of meandering around the Spokane area. A little bit of a band of snow that has pushed west of Highway 195, so you might notice those snowflakes between Ritzville and Medical Lake along I-90, but doesn't look like it's hurt any of the road conditions as of this morning. Though our temperatures are still largely at or below the freezing mark most everywhere, with a few exceptions like in Lewiston, Pomeroy, Moses Lake, Omak, you are just above the freezing mark as it stands this morning. So a few light flurries through about the noon hour today, and it will be light at most. The afternoon hours, still just going to stay cloudy. I think if we're lucky, we might hit the low 40s. Otherwise, we're just looking at upper 30s for high temperatures today.
It's time now for your morning rush. More news in less time. The Idaho County Sheriff's Office confirmed the identity of the remains found near an abandoned camp back in 1984. Roger Brian Bennett's remains were found near Colt Killed Creek. Bennett is from Oklahoma. He went missing shortly after being discharged from the Air Force in 1982. New genetic technology helped investigators figure out his identity. They will now be returned to his family in Oklahoma. Fire crews in eastern Washington are getting more resources to fight wildfires. 4 new wildfire engines are coming to eastern Washington fire districts. It's all a part of DNR's effort to strengthen rural fire districts in fire-prone areas. Fire districts in Spokane, Stevens, and Pend Oreille counties will get the engines this month. You can hear the excitement. Central Valley alum Lexi Hull was drafted in the WNBA draft by the Indiana Fever. She ties now with Lewis and Clark alum Brianne January as the highest WNBA draft pick out of Spokane, and a big congratulations to her. And that's a look at your morning rush.
Spokane City Council members say they need at least another week to decide who will operate a new homeless shelter. The city recently put out a call to organizations asking them to come up with a price and a plan to run a new shelter. The Salvation Army, Guardians, and Jules Helping Hands all responded. Now, Jules wants the city to give them $1 million to buy more than 120 pallet homes and $10 million to support staffing and wraparound services. Now, they want these tiny homes to replace the tents that are located off of I-90 near the Fred Meyer. We asked Council President Beggs about Jules' plan, and he called it a creative proposal and says the tiny homes could be a new tool added to the toolkit.
So it's a question of how much money do we have? And the priorities that we have and what do we need most right now. Right now, the top priority for the city is making sure that anyone who is completely unsheltered has shelter.
Now, Beggs says he is confident that council members will have a recommendation and a vote during next week's meeting.
A major U.S. city is bringing back their mask mandate, and the transportation mask mandate is set to end next week. We have your 3 things to know about COVID.